guacamole! What's up everyone, MunchingOrange here, and welcome to another Pokemon Sun and Moon news update video. If you guys can't tell why I'm so freaking excited, brace yourselves because the final starter evolutions for Pokemon Sun and Moon have been leaked. That's right guys, Litten, Popplio, and Rowlet's final evolutions are actually here right in front of me right now. And I cannot believe this because this is actually a leak that happened a while ago and we haven't had any confirmation on it until yesterday's trailer. And holy crap guys, brace yourselves for the spoilers because we are about to take a look at the final starter evolutions, so get ready for it. And if you're excited, make sure to hit that like button because oh my gosh, here we go. Rowlet, Linton, and Popplio's final evolutions. Here they are, and holy moly, I can't believe this is here right now. And you might not believe it either, because what is the credibility behind these leaks? Well, my friends, with the trailer that was revealed yesterday, we saw a new character get revealed, one of the trial captains named Mallow, the grass type specialist. And if we take a look at the leak with Litten's final evolution in it, you might actually notice a familiar face in there. It's literally Mallow. From the flower on her head to the two ponytails that she's got going, even the outfit, it looks exactly the same. And this is no mere coincidence. This is almost what 100% confirms that these are real, confidential concept art for the final starter evolutions. And that's not all, because the leaker also included a bunch of text information with more details about Pokemon Sun and Moon. And some of them are even other things that we saw pop up in the trailer yesterday. Things like the fact that there will be no traditional gyms in Sun and Moon, the diamonds, which will function like Mega Stones, and Overlord Pokemon, which will be more powerful than the regular ones. And these sound oddly like the trial challenges, the Z moves, and the totem Pokemon that were just announced in the trailer yesterday. And it's crazy because all of this was leaked over a month ago. This information has already been here. Actually, these leaks came out on June 4th, so almost 2 months ago already. These have been floating around on the internet, and I actually saw these before and thought, man, these look really awesome. I hope they're real. And it's like 99% confirmed that this is real artwork, concept art of the starters' final evolutions. And keep in mind, I did say concept art, so it might slightly change or vary when the final versions come out, when they officially get revealed. But for now, this is what we have. This is the concept artwork, and it looks amazing. So let's dive into each one of these final starter evolutions. So first up, my clear favorite, the fire type starter, Litten's final evolution. And we have it here, this really awesome, tough, buff cat wrangler. Oh, he looks so awesome. I was actually hoping that Litten's final evolution would be on 2 legs as opposed to 4, because of course Litten's on all 4s, but here it is now on 2 legs, super buff macho man cat. And I guess this means it's gonna be a fire fighting type once again. This is my speculation, actually. It's not confirmed fire fighting type, but we don't actually have the typings here. We just have to guess him right now. And at least for this Litten final evolution, it looks as if it would be another fire and fighting type final starter, of course joining along with Infernape, Blaziken, and Emboar from before. This would be the 4th fire fighting starter. It's definitely not a typing I'm too excited about, but I'm really excited for the design of this evolution. Just look at this monster. I really like the one where he's holding out his hand like, oh yeah, come at me, bro. I also like that pelvic thrust where he's got like fire coming out of his belt. I'm not sure what that is. It could be like a signature move, because we've seen a lot of the Alola Pokemon so far kind of have little quirks or special things that they do in their idle animations or signature moves they've got. So that could be something like that for Litten's final Evo here. But if we take a look at the bottom, we have the action shots here, which is where we confirmed Mallow is in the scene, and she's actually sitting next to Ash and Pikachu, which is pretty weird to me because I thought this was game concept artwork and we have Ash and Pikachu in there, but could just be a little Easter egg, though there might just be more to it. Just wait and see. There's more leaks and they are insane. So let's wrap up with Litten's final evolution here. You see him doing a couple of wrestling moves like that one right there. I don't know much about wrestling, as you guys can see, and this Pokemon is actually based on a wrestler, which is really awesome. So now, as I mentioned, the typings aren't confirmed yet, so let me know what you think of Litten's final evolution. Do you think it will be a fire and fighting type, or do you think it might actually be a fire and dark type and just look like a fighting type? Because it doesn't 100% tell you that he's a fighting type just because he's muscly, though it does seem that way, doesn't it? But anyway, let's move on to the second one, which is Popplio's final evolution, and this one's almost a no-brainer for me, water and fairy type. At least that's definitely what it looks like, though it could end up being a little bit different. It is based on a siren, apparently. I'm not totally sure on the difference between sirens and mermaids, but I think they're kind of similar because this also reminds me of a mermaid design, especially with the mermaid tail going on there. But pretty awesome design, especially if it is a water and fairy type, as some people have speculated. Popplio did learn Disarming Voice really early on, but that doesn't really 100% say it's going to be fairy type. However, this design here does have a little bits of hint of fairy to me, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw Popplio evolve into a water and fairy type. But definitely let me know what you guys think the typing could be here. As for the poses that we see, compared to Litten's final evo, there's not quite as much. Spreading his arms out, singing. I'm not really sure what it's doing, actually singing or just showing off the goods. I don't know. It looks really sick though. I like the design for it, and definitely redeeming Popplio a little bit for me, because although Popplio has received a lot more love lately compared to when it first was announced, I feel like it's still going to be the least picked out of the 3 Alola starter Pokemon. But hey, speaking of Alola starters, let's move on to the final one, and that is Rowlet's evolution. And holy moly, this thing looks awesome! So it is clearly based off an archer, and he even uses his wing as a bow. That just looks so cool to me, and like I mentioned earlier, it seems each Alola Pokemon has a little quirk to their biology, like something on their body lets them do super stuff, and I guess for this Rowlet evolution, its wing becomes an arrow, or sorry, a bow, and then he uses arrows from his feathers or something. It's really crazy. It's a really cool design concept, and of course it seems as if it would stay a grass and flying type. At least it's the only logical thing to me, but wow, this looks really cool, and you can see he has little glasses or something when he's on with his hoodie. I think this is my slow realization that Rowlet is definitely the coolest looking out of these 3 final evolutions, and now I'm conflicted because I love Litten so much, but this Rowlet evolution just looks so awesome. I don't know, man, but you also see it when it doesn't have its hood on, or I guess through its hood, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to remove it in the game or have it take it off, but it looks really cool with or without it on, in my opinion. So there it is, the final 3 starter evolutions. Definitely let me know which one of these 3 you guys like the most, and do you think they're 100% real? Because with Mallow being in there, I feel like it's almost 100% confirmed, but maybe there's like that 1% chance. It's just not really likely. It's crazy that these leaks have been around for so long, and now we have the confirmation. Either way, with those being confirmed, there's a whole bunch more leaks and information that could potentially be confirmed as well, but take these with a grain of salt. I feel like the starter evolutions is more concrete because there's picture evidence, but although it's not quite 100% like the starter evolutions, some of the stuff that was in these leaks was actually confirmed in the trailer yesterday, so it definitely gives it a little bit more credibility, but I would still take this with a grain of salt. There's a lot of info, guys, so if you don't want all the spoilers for the Sun and Moons, definitely click off right now, but we're gonna dive into this because I just cannot believe some of the stuff that's in here. There's a lot of leaks, guys. Let's get to it. On July 15th, an anonymous user posted a really long text file with a bunch of leaks for Sun and Moon, and we had no confirmation until now because a couple of the claims he made were actually confirmed in the trailer from yesterday. And a couple of those things to start off are no gyms in Sun and Moon, which we now know there's the trial challenges instead. He also said Young Goose evolution would be fat and hairy, which, I mean, I guess you could say that's fat and hairy, so we'll give him that one. There's new forms for old Pokemon. Now, of course, we've seen the Alola forms have been revealed, so all that information I just read, of course, we know about now from the trailer yesterday, but keep in mind, this information was posted back in July 15th, way before the trailer had come out and we knew about any of this stuff, and it actually has even more information, so let's finally dive into this juicy goodness. So first, the leaker claims there's going to be multiple evolutions for Rockruff, the little puppy rock type Pokemon you get towards the beginning of the game, or at least we assume it's an early Pokemon. One of them is apparently going to be a werewolf evolution, and there's 3 other ones which are all going to be different typings, but I guess it's like a new Eevee and that it has a 4-way split evolution. We also see that time works differently in each version of the game, so depending on if you're playing Pokemon Sun or Moon, time will work differently. I'm not sure what that means, but could be that in Pokemon Sun you have a lot more daytime, and in Pokemon Moon you have a lot more nighttime to play in. Not sure, just my speculation. Now here's a big one because the leaker says Ash Greninja will appear in the game. And I've actually heard this from a couple of different leaks, not just this one. So maybe I've just heard the rumor so much that I'm starting to think it's true. But how the heck would Ash Greninja work in the game? Because first of all, you'd need Ash to have Ash Greninja. And Ash has never been in a Pokemon game before, though we do see him next to Mallow in this concept artwork. And like I said, this is game concept art. It could be anime concept art technically, but I don't know. It's crazy to think that Ash Greninja could be in the game. Or what if Ash Greninja is actually just the Alolan version of Greninja all along, and somehow Ash was able to trigger the change? Actually, that doesn't make much sense to me now, but I don't know. If Ash Greninja's in the game, that means Ash could be in the game, and that would be insane to have Ash in a real Pokemon game. So I'm not really buying it, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Now this is something I've been thinking about a lot, and the leaker says that Looker, Cynthia, Blue, Zinnia, AZ, and Lance will all make appearances in Sun and Moon. And I meant that I've been thinking about other characters visiting the Alola region because the X and Y story wasn't really wrapped up, and I just know that this game is going to have some kind of big impact in the story, and I was definitely hoping some old characters would return. Now finally, let's talk about the other Alolan forms that are apparently coming to the games. First of all, we've got a Bug and Psychic type Butterfree, so adding on that Psychic typing that I feel like Butterfree should have always had because it seemed like a Psychic kind of bug. But the Rattata line, so Rattata and Raticate, will now become Dark type. Sounds kind of cool, but I don't know really much about Raticate. I think I've been catching a couple too many of those in Pokemon Go already. But Nidoqueen and Nidoking are going to be Poison and Fighting types, so adding on that Fighting typing on there is kind of cool actually. Ninetales says it's going to be a Fire and Fairy type, so that's actually wrong because we now of course know that Ninetales was revealed to be Ice and Fairy type in its Alolan form, so this is actually the first leak that I guess has gotten wrong, the first strike for our leaker here. But he goes on to say that Growlithe and Arcanine are going to be Water type in Alola. What the frick? A Water type Arcanine? Hold up. That would actually make sense with the Ninetales being Ice, making Arcanine Water, because they're kind of counterpart Pokemon, but holy crap, the thought of a water dog, that's just so cool, man. I actually hope that one's true. But to wrap it up, the Abra line will all be Fighting type. What? That sounds crazy. And finally, Doduo and Dodrio will be Flying and Fighting type. So just adding on that Hawlucha flair in there. But oh my gosh, these sound really cool. At least that Water Arcanine. There's probably going to be even more Alolan versions of Pokemon than that, because it seems like they're replacing Mega Evolution with Alolan forms, though it's not 100% confirmed yet. Seems like that's what they're going to be doing, but we've only seen Alolan Pokemon from Kanto so far, and it's kind of curious to see if we're going to see more other regions' Pokemon also have Alolan forms. And the final rumor, which could potentially be one of the biggest ones, but I personally don't believe because it's just so out of the box and crazy. Apparently, the Alola starter Pokemon will have 2 final evolutions, depending on when you evolve it. That would mean that these are just one version of the starter's final evolutions that we saw, and there's a whole nother set of them that could make them different typings. It would be insane if they did that. Of course, it'd be the first time in any Pokemon game ever, but Alola and Pokemon Sun and Moon so far have definitely been going out of the box and trying new stuff out, so I could honestly see it, especially if the new starters aren't going to have Mega Evolutions. That would kind of be a cool alternative, but let me know what you guys think of that, as well as all of the rumors and leaks that we just saw. But as far as what's confirmed, I feel like these are the real starter evolutions here, and all that information we just read, at least most of it, will turn out to be true. I don't know why, I have a feeling this is all going to turn out to be true. It just is clicking in my head slowly, and maybe it's the same for you guys. If you disagree though, definitely let me know in the comments what you think of the starter evolution leaks and all the other info we got. But that is going to do it for this video, so I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you're excited for these final starter evolutions, because I actually really like the designs as well as all of this info we just heard about Sun and Moon. These are definitely going to be the best Pokemon games yet, and I can't wait. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.